Greetings from the desert in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, we're stranded. Don't worry about those houses back there. Don't worry about that part. Now, if you're in a predicament like ours, you need a vehicle that can get you out of the desert and carve any kind of terrain you want it to, but then at the end of the day, be able to make sure that you can go get your Dutch Bros drink because you're a 45-year-old mom from Beverly Hills, or you're a Eastern European mob boss that wears Adidas constantly. Let me show you which vehicle personifies those two demographics the perfect way. The Mercedes G-Wagon. This is the vehicle that those two groups only buy. There's no Range Rovers, there's nothing to that. It's this. If you don't have one of these and you're in those two groups, you're doing it wrong. Now, let me show you why this right here, the Mercedes G-Wagon, is a certified classic. Now, the G-Wagon, we should probably talk about its history and how this whole thing started before we really dive into the current demographic of the owners of this car. Now, the original intention for the G-Wagon, and I'm going to butcher the name of it, I promise you, it's called the Geländewagen, which I probably just butchered it, but this was originally supposed to be a German military truck or SUV for the military. Kind of like how the Humvee was for the US military and everything like that. That's really what this thing was supposed to be. It wasn't intended to be a status symbol. It wasn't intended to be anything like it is now, but it is. And I mean, it's a good thing it is, because it sounds really good. But yes, the elephant in the room that we have to address is, even though this was a military style vehicle and everything, it was meant to, you know, be in the battlefield, be off-road, be in the, just in the mud. Nowadays, most of them, and this specific one here included, they were really just used for cruising the mall or cruising Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. What it is. I mean, this is a $250,000 Mercedes, and most people that buy these, actually, now that I think about it, most people that buy these have businesses and they buy them as a write-off because it's just over that certain income or that certain tax bracket because of the weight of the vehicle or whatnot, whatever it is. But it's still a really capable off-road. That's the thing that people don't really get with the G-Wagons, is you can still absolutely take this thing off-road, because even though it's a quote-unquote status symbol now, and most people that drive these are 45-year-old moms that live in Beverly Hills or Eastern European mob bosses, this thing is still a capable off-roader. It's got a 4MATIC all-wheel drive that all Mercedes have. This specific one, or not specific one, but just all the G-Wagons have, you can lock the diffs, you can lock the front, you can lock the rear, you can lock off both of them. It really is ingenious with how Mercedes designed this thing to what it's capable to do. I mean, it's available to go off-road. You could go camping with it if you decide to take a $250,000 SUV to go camping and potentially scratch and everything, but you can. You could buy the older ones, which that's another thing we really need to get into. Older G-Wagons still hold their value. Even if you look at the older ones, which are the older ones for the US, like a 2003 or 4 G500, that's still like a $30,000, $40,000 SUV, which is crazy, but it's just how it is. Now, this one specifically is a 2019, so it is the first year of the refresh, which refresh is just some headlights, the bumpers, and the interior. The G-Wagons really always look the same. It's kind of like the 911. It's looked the same since the 70s, and they're never going to change it because the recognizable shape of this thing is a box. Now, because it's a 2019 and because it's the AMG variant, the only engine you can get in this AMG is the 4-liter twin-turbo V8, which in this one makes about 603-ish horsepower, 612 around there, and a buttload of torque. It's pretty fast, and I'm going to press this throttle in a second so you guys can see what it does, but it really is it's a status symbol. I mean, I'm driving down the street right now and people are looking at it. They're like, you know, it's a G-Wagon. People see it and they're like, oh, this guy has money. Even though it's not mine. People recognize you as you afforded a $250,000 Mercedes G-Wagon, so you must have money. This one specifically is a really, really cool spec too. I personally really like it. It's painted in like, I think they call it olive green metallic, which is actually they call it a G manufacturer color. This isn't a standard color that you can go out and get. So it's a little bit more expensive. And the interior is a beige with brown, which is a really good setup. I personally really like the interior. You know, I'm a bigger fan of lighter colors instead of just dark black, which you can do. Now this one here, like I said, 2019, it is a pretty special color. The car is it's got about 19,000 miles on it, and it does have, they do want about 145,000 for the dealership, which is reasonable. I mean, it's It's a really, really quick, I mean, for how big it is and how much it weighs, this thing is, oh my God, it rips. It rips. But I guess the real question that we're trying to answer is, has this thing strayed too far away from its roots? I mean, again, this was really meant to be a German military vehicle, and now it has auto start stop and heated seats, cooled seats, massaging seats, a huge infotainment screen, Bluetooth and everything, Apple CarPlay. It's much different than the 1970s G-Wagon. Yeah, it's quick. Oh my God. Now, getting G-Wagons has always been sort of one of those things where they always have a markup. So especially new ones, I honestly, if you can even find a new one, because of how, you know, how rare they are and how many people just buy them constantly, it's kind of hard to get your hands on one of these things. But on the used market, they're readily available. Now, if you get one pre-2019, it's going to be a little bit more of an outdated interior, and you're also going to have the M157, which is the 5.5 liter twin turbo V8. This one here, like I said, the 4 liter, it's called the M177. More reliable, more power oriented, and honestly, it sounds really good. I mean, you guys can kind of hear it from when I floored it, but it's a really, really good sounding SUV. It's got that burble, it's got the truck burble, you know, it's angry, it's huge, and it just feels like a truck that when you get on it, it'll do what you need it to do. And I mean, it's one of those things that if you really like the SUV, then it's something that I recommend getting one. I mean, I would drive one. Why not? You know what I mean? And why would you not? That's one of those things you kind of have to ask yourself is, if you have the money, this thing commands road presence. This is like the S-Class of the road. I mean, it's huge. When you see this thing in your rearview mirror, you know what this is. You will not mistake this thing for any other car out there. Maybe for a Jeep, but you know what they say, the Jeep is the poor man's G-Wagon, because it is. Oh, another G-Wagon, except that's a G550. That guy is a brokey, because it's not an AMG. But all jokes aside, please make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.